What if NBA players were chess pieces? I've always wondered that myself. The NBA season just started this week. My boys out in Oklahoma City took care of business game one, whooped the Denver Nuggets. But I was just wondering, all these top players in the NBA, they all have a specific skill set. But how would that translate to the chessboard? What kind of piece would they be? Now, this is kind of a niche topic. We're mixing chess, we're mixing basketball, but this isn't the first time these two topics have combined. Gordon Hayward's got a bot on chess.com. Luka Doncic's got a bot on chess.com. So we're just expanding on the realm. So for this video, we're doing the top 10 NBA players on ESPN's top 100 list. I'm going to tell you what each of them would be on the chessboard. So number 10, ESPN's got Anthony Edwards. Now, do I agree that he's number 10? I don't know. I don't know if he's higher or lower. I got some opinions. But in my opinion, Ant would be. It's hard. I think he'd be kind of like a. He's sort of like a rook. I wouldn't call him. He's not a queen. He's not in that upper echelon. He's not a top three player. He's not taking over the game. He is taking over the game, but he's got bad games in there. But he's not just a rook either. He's got other skill sets. He's a high flyer. He can drive downhill, but he can get a little shifty. He can dribble a bit. I want to say he's kind of like a knight. Knights will be hopping, but I want to say he's a mix. He's a mix of a rook and a knight. He's a right Edwards. That's what he is. You can't define him as just a rook or just a knight. He's got a little bit of both in him, but he's not a queen. At number 9, they got Snake Kevin Durant. I don't know. I don't know. He did my boys Oklahoma City wrong back in the day. But we've moved on. He's older now. He's not the same player he was, but as a chess piece, he's unique. He's tall. He can do it all. He can dribble. He can shoot. He can drive. He's an all-time great. I have to give it to him. But I'm going to say he's a queen. But not just a queen. He's a skinny queen, Slay. But not just a skinny queen. He's an aging skinny queen. Also Slay, I guess. But I'm saying he's a queen because he does everything, and he's an all-time great. He's one of the best to ever do it. Queens take over games. Kevin Durant can take over games. He does what he needs to do. He can do it all. That's what I'm saying. But he's aging. So soon we'll see. At number 8, they got the troll, Joel Embiid from the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, this one's a little conflicting to me. He's a great. He takes over games, but he's injury prone. He's been having issues. This year he said he won't be playing in any back-to-backs. He's missed the first game of the season. I think he's going to be reevaluated in a week. I'm going to have to say he's a king. That's no disrespect. Kings are a good piece. You need the king to win games, but you got to keep your king protected. And the Philadelphia 76ers got to keep Joel Embiid healthy. Because without Joel Embiid, they are not winning the championship or winning the game of chess without their king Embiid. That's my reasoning. No disrespect, he plays great. The king can't do much on offense, but for other reasons, that's why I'm calling him the king. Now, number 7 is this one's obvious. We know this, guys. King James. But I wouldn't say he plays like a king. I'd say he plays like a mixture of the king and queen because he's obviously King James. He's got to be a king. And he is a king. You need him. You can't win without him. You can win without him, but he's King James. That's what I'm trying to say. But he can do everything. He's king and queen. He's the GOAT. He's a king, a queen with GOAT antlers. Imagine Magnus as a king and a queen. He's gender fluid. Now at number 6, they got Steph Curry. I used to be a number 1 hater of Steph Curry back in the day. Nowadays, I'm a little indifferent. But back in the day, he was giving my Thunder problems. He was playing against LeBron every year, and I was rooting for Bron. I know what piece Steph Curry is. I've always known this. He's a bishop. You know why? Because look, imagine you had a fiend-kettled bishop. Look at this. Look at these bishops. Look at the sniping they are doing. They control an entire diagonal, and Steph Curry can shoot from wherever he wants. I've always thought of bishops as long-range snipers hiding there, waiting to attack you right when you're about to make a checkmate They're going to come out of nowhere from off the chessboard and ruin your day. So Steph Curry falls under the bishop category. A great bishop. Number 5, they got JT. I was kind of confused about where to put JT. So we're going on this one just off aura. And I'm thinking JT is a knight. He's got knight aura. I don't know. I don't see him as a rook. He wants to be Kobe, but he's not really Kobe yet. He gives me knight. I could see him riding into town on his knight going, the Celtics are here to conquer the East. JT is coming. I'm a big fan of JB, though. He's not on this list. I don't know what I'd put JB either. Based off aura alone, JT is a knight. Now, I've been waiting for this one. This is my dog, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Favorite player, favorite team. Number 4 should be top 3, and he ain't 2 and 3, but I know exactly what he is. He's a queen, but not only a queen, he's a queen that can make knight moves. You know why? One of the best players in the NBA. Should be MVP, so he's a queen. He can do it all. But he's kind of herky-jerky. When he's up there, he's, a little fade away. It's different. He doesn't move like the average NBA player. It's tricky. So for that reasoning, I'm saying he's a queen that can do knight moves. So he's one of the best pieces in the world. At 3, we got Giannis Antetokounmpo. Now, I'm saying Giannis, he started as a pawn. You know, when they drafted him, he was a skinny guy. He was a project. They didn't know he was going to become what he became. So they invested in this pawn. He became a passed pawn. He eventually got all the way down there, but I don't think he chose to promote into a queen. He can't really do it all. He said he's great, but I think he promoted into a rook. No disrespect. I think he promoted into a rook stacked on top of a rook. I think he's a very tall, a very great rook. A rook you would want to have at all times. But I wouldn't say he's a queen. But he's one of the best players in the NBA. One of the best pieces in the game. Just an absolute, what do we say? An absolute beast of a rook is what I'd say he is. Because he can slash, run and dunk. That's what he does, as James Harden said. And he's going to run you over. Number 2, Luka. I used to be a big Luka fan. Nowadays, I'm a little bit of a hater, especially this last playoffs. Just watching him play against the Thunder, play against people, I just didn't like how he played. I wasn't a fan, but he is one of the best players in the NBA. I'll give him that. He's on chess.com. I'll give him that. But this is what I'd say he is. He is tricky. He's unorthodox. He plays very slow, and he just moves different than a normal basketball player. So I'd say he's a knight that can't hop over pieces because he's very tricky. He gets you in predicaments. He forks you, but he's not a high flyer. He's not gonna slammer dammer it over your head on top of you. So this is a ground-bound knight. That's still a good knight. I feel like I'm disrespecting him, but just think of this knight as a very nice knight. Now, number 1, what you've all been waiting for, the Joker out of Denver. Thunder just beat him, by the way. But what would I say he is? This one's kind of tough. But, I mean, he's the 3-time MVP. He started as a second-round pick. No one expected him to become the 3-time MVP. So I'm saying he started as a pawn, just like Giannis. They invested into him. He became a pass pawn. He went all the way. He marched one square at a time, and he promoted. But he didn't just promote into a rook like Giannis. He promoted into a queen. And as this queen, he can do it all. He passes, he scores. But there is some limitations to this queen. I'd say it can only move up to 5 squares at once. He's a little bit of a slower queen. He can't get from one side of the floor to the other side of the floor in one move. But he's still a great queen. He takes over the game. You need him to win the game. You can't blunder him. You better not blunder him. He's a 3-time MVP winning queen that can only move 5 squares at a time. Don't get it twisted. He's still great. Now, I don't know if I agree with that top 10 by ESPN, but that's what I think all of them would be as chess pieces. A lot of them don't fit the mold. They can't be an exact piece. They're a little bit of a mixtures of a few, of a little couple things. But let me know. Do you agree? Do you think I should do some other players? Peace out.